while I go live on Facebook. It's going to take me just a second. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good week. Coming on Facebook now. And hello Facebook, good evening everybody. I am Sami Abusad, Director of Education at T3 Live. Welcome to our weekly lesson videos. I usually do these videos on Saturday mornings, but I'm gonna be going away for the weekend and I don't want to leave you hanging, of course, so I decided to record the video, stream the videos right now. Okay, so what we're gonna do is turn on the charts. Here we go. Perfect. So before I start, please be sure to hit the like button if you find benefit in today's video. Be sure to also check out the links in the description below. There's some helpful links. And be sure to agree to this standard required disclaimer, which says that trading is risky and that whatever we discuss today is for educational purposes only. Alright, so with that said, let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, what I want to talk about first is the market. This has been probably the single most sloppiest market I have ever seen. One of them for sure. For sure one of the sloppiest I've ever seen in my entire career as a trader. Last week, this is how the market looked last Friday. I mean, it looked lower. The next day, no follow through. Third day, which was Tuesday, no follow through. Went back up, and now we are looking higher. You see that? The attempt to start in the market starting to curl up a little bit. This is the tracking ETF for the Nasdaq 100, the QQQ. So it's starting to look a little bullish. If we break above the base, I predict a move back up to the prior highs. And then from there, I say higher still, if we take out the base. Today we gapped up and got sold, no follow through. So we gotta have some follow through before we start believing anything. I think at a bare minimum, we need to see the market take out the Qs at least. Take out the top of the base, which is about 189.68. If we were to look at the SPY, same picture. SPY is actually slightly more bullish. Slightly cleaner too. Look at that. So we need to take it out on a closing basis. For example, somebody might say we already took it out today. I think we did. 294.15. We went to 294.24. But did we close above it? IWM. This line in the sand. Did we take it out? Yes. Did we close below it? We didn't. Okay. So we have to close above or below it, and I think if we can just take out the base and close above it, we should see at a bare minimum a retest to the all-time high. Okay, at a bare minimum, and then from there probably higher because the weekly buy setup will kick in, and this will be viewed as just a real battle, and the winner, will be the bulls. Now I prefer bearish markets, but I'm telling you from now, this is a good opportunity. If we take out the base and hold, this would be a good opportunity to go long in long-term accounts. In my opinion, I'm only at 50% invested in the market, so I'm planning to go at least to 75 if we can just take out the base. Got it? So personally, I'm planning to go 75 at least, if not 100, if we can just take out the base and on a closing basis. Because I think after that, then we go to the prior all-time high, and from there, we probably go much higher. Let me actually check the audio real quick to make sure everything is working fine. Yeah, it should be. Okay, good. So with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at the list for next week. I have a nice list. I'm going to have a nice list to work with. We'll start off with the BSX, Boston Scientific. Wow. Talk about bullish. Look at that bullishness. This is the monthly chart. BSX. Look at the weekly. Base breakout. Lovely. Like it a lot, but more as a long-term play rather than a swing trade. Because if you look at it on the daily chart, it's a little sloppy, meaning, you know, if you enter here, you have to put the stop down here. So that's not a stop this big is probably not appropriate for swing trading. It's more appropriate for long-term trading. But do I mind it as a long-term trade? Not at all, because it's right off the 20 on the weekly chart. Does that make sense? So I don't mind it at all as a long-term trade. I love it actually. Okay, as a core play. C-Day is even better, probably. Broke out all-time high and then has a 1, 2, 3. It's gonna have a 1, 2, 3 on the daily, on the weekly, monthly, right? This is the weekly. This is the daily breakout on the daily, and then the monthly doesn't have a 1, 2, 3. It's just a weekly 1, 2, 3. So it looks good. I thought because it's the end of the month, we might have a 1, 2, 3 on the monthly, but it's a 1, 2, 3 on the weekly. So I like the C-Day a lot. I like the BSX long term. I like the C-Day short and long term. DPLO is a transition A on the daily chart. So I like it over the base, stop just under. Okay, check out the weekly, beautiful transition A. Got it? So that's the DPLO. IFRX, I'd have to open up the chart to really see it, but basically it's just a base breakout. Over the base, stop under it. Okay? IFRX had I think an 80% gap down back here from 37 to $2 or so. So this was amazing. And IOVA is got a gorgeous looking weekly buy setup. That's a nice weekly buy setup. I do expect to get follow through if the market pops and holds, like if we actually take out the base and close above it. So I do expect to see follow through on all of these. I am planning to play a bunch long and just one short. Okay, if you're in the strategic swing trader, I already posted the plays for you for Tuesday. Okay, so that's a buy setup on the weekly chart. Like it a lot. MAXR is a transition A on the weekly time frame. That's not bad. That's the weekly chart. Here's the daily. Looks like it might be breaking away or above a channel, right? So not bad, not bad. Higher. More as a long-term. NLS is a little guy, small stock, but looks higher over the base. Stop below it. Tell you the truth, it triggered already today, but I didn't get it. So it looks higher to me. OMI, oh my, OMI, oh my, because it looks phenomenal. Look at that weekly chart. What a beauty. Breakout, base, another breakout coming on OMI. Okay, love it. But it's not as a swing trade. How do I know? 3 green bars up in a row to the entry. That means it's not a swing trade. Too many green bars in a row. So I like it more as a long-term trade. Love it on the weekly chart. Looks higher, much higher to at least bare minimum $8. That would be over 50%. It would be over 50%. To just 8, and then next target area would be the 20 MA on the monthly. That's about $10, 100% gain. So I do like the OMI a lot. It held up pretty well. PBYI is a transition A over the base, stop under it. Like it. And then fun is for fun. Be careful with this stock if you decide to play. It's crazy. At the beginning of the year, it went from $10 to $5.50. Can you believe? From 10 to 5.50, crazy, and now back down to $1, $1.50. So there's a transition A setting up over 164 by 134, I think, 145. So it's just a 20-cent stop, right here and stop right here. Crazy stock. I would assume when I play something like this, I assume that the entire investment is at risk. I apologize. I'm noticing that the lighting is starting to get dark because it is. What time is it? It's 7:30 my time, so it's starting to get dark, and I don't have the lights on, I guess. So the lighting is not that great, but what matters is not me. What matters is the charts, right? So just pay attention to the charts. So again, with something like PHE1, I assume that the entire investment is at risk. And so I don't put a lot of money in it, okay? PLD is just an all-time breakout. It's a daily, weekly, monthly breakout. Looks good, but it's a little sloppy. I would rather go with BSX. I'd rather go with C-Day. And I don't want to play all of these. I am going to play 4 if they trigger. At least 4. and I need to see the market also trigger and hold above or close above the base on the daily chart, as we discussed already. Shorts, FI, sell setup, I'm already in it, so I'm just going to be looking to add to it under the base, stop above. Okay, GLNG is the next one, 1, 2, 3. Love the GLNG. I like it when the bar is not as big as this one. That's a big red bar, the initial bar. For example, look at the SY. That's a 1, 2, 3. That's a tier 1 gap, by the way. This was a tier 1 gap. That's a 1, 2. But look at the size of the bar. I don't like it when the initial bar is abnormally big like this. Look at what else? That's a huge bar like this. HRB, huge bar. See it? That's a good 1, 2, 3. But the size of the bar, the initial bar, is a little too big. I like it when it's slightly smaller. So GLNG looks better than the other two because at least the bar isn't unbelievably big, and I like it as a 1, 2, 3 short. Where's the target? The prior support. There is no support all the way down to about 950. So that would be the target. So you got a couple bucks on it. Okay. GNLN, I guess, is a base breakdown on the daily chart. Under the base, stop above it. HMI, not ready, and it's super thin. But if you look at the weekly, that's a gorgeous looking weekly sell setup. Short, stop. But again, this is pretty thin, so I'd rather not talk about it too much. Moving on to the MKTX. That, my friends, is not off the daily. It's more of a climactic monthly sell setup that hasn't triggered yet, of course. But I don't wait for the monthly to trigger, because in order for it to trigger, it needs to take out the prior bar's low. That would be too big of a stop. So you have to get it off the daily or the weekly. Weekly is okay, actually, to wait for the weekly to trigger under 384.59 by 408, or most aggressive would be under the daily. Right here, short, stop could use this or the all-time high. Unbelievable monthly chart. What a beauty. You know what this reminds me of? The ENPH, which just triggered this week. ENPH, I think. ENPH. Yep. Vertical should come back down. Right? It triggered this week on the weekly chart. We saw two red bars in a row. Maybe it'll base a little bit and give us a secondary entry also. So the MKTX is a climactic sell setup, just like the ENPH. I'm watching a bunch of other stocks that are going a little climo. Let me show you. WEC. That's going a little climactic. Up, 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 up. And the biggest green bar. What does that mean? Irrational exuberance, right? It means the stock is probably going to be running out of buyers pretty soon. And then from there, a fall. Starbucks, of all stocks, went vertical. NVCR. Look at the NVCR. That's a beauty. And there's more. I have more. Shop. What about Shop? That's not sustainable, guys. That's not sustainable. It never is. I can show you a million examples of what happens after a move like this. It collapses usually. ALGN. Right? MED. And this is off the top of my mind. Look at that. When they go vertical like this. How about the WWE? See this? And then it collapse. How about MDGL, I think? How about the MDGL? It went from 15 bucks to 325. It's at 92 now. So how about Triple D? Up to 98, I think, or 97. Now it's at 7 bucks. How about Skechers, SKX? See it? When they go vertical like this, it ain't sustainable. So that's the SKX. How about best of all time? Probably is the TRGP, I believe, is the symbol. Yes, I would say that's kind of like the best of all time. Up. Look at the size of the bar here. And that was the top. That's 161, went down to 14, I believe. 14.50. Can you believe it? Bounced to 60, and now it looks lower. That's oil. Doesn't that look lower here on the monthly chart? It looks lower to me. So went from, who knows where from, I'd have to go back and look, but went from like 20 bucks to 160 to 14. It actually looks lower. So amazing climactics. And so the MKTX is just almost just as good. And I showed you a bunch more that I'm currently watching. The Shop, and I have a list. WEC, Starbucks, even Shack, but I didn't mention it because I don't think it's ready yet. Shack, I don't like it that much as a short. Last but not least is the Pets, is a daily breakdown. Like it under the base, stop above. of all of these, I'm only looking to do one on Tuesday. These is a different story because I'm turning a little more bullish on the market. Of course, as I said, I'd like to see the market take out the base and close above it. But if it does, I'm going to be a lot more bullish than bearish. I'm only planning to do one of these. If you're in the strategic swing trader, go to the account online. You can actually see which ones I'm picking. If you're not in the strategic swing trader, you want to learn more about it, go to t3live.com/swing. It's only $95 a month. All right. With that said, I'm gonna close this out for tonight. Actually, I'm going to do another video on the FANG stocks, on the leading stocks that should give leading stocks in the economy in the country, which should give us an idea of where we're going. Okay, which should kind of give us like an inside look of where the market is going. And I'm going to do that next, but I'm noticing it's getting pretty dark here, so I may have to just turn off the webcam. But for now, I will go ahead and wish you all a wonderful holiday weekend. I'll talk to you on Tuesday with our regular Tuesday evening lessons after the closed lessons, and have a happy holiday weekend. Take care, everybody. Have a good night.